Welcome back to more Tales from the Crypt. Let's go. And today we're talking about Split Personality, which is season 4, episode 11. And it's starring Joe Pesci. He's over here now. He was over there with Henry Hill and Kevin McAllister, and now he's over here with the Crypt Keeper. Oh, he's a good fella. He's one of us. He's a real funny guy. And on this video, I'm doing a little bit of an experiment. Now that I have 2 channels, I'm going to collaborate the 2 channels together, because one channel I cover gangster movies and the other channel I cover horror. And this episode marries the 2, gangster and horror. So if you like this episode and want to see more Tales from the Crypt breakdowns, follow my channel, The Cinema Underworld. Please, and thank you. And this episode is a fan favorite, obviously, because everyone loves Joe Pesci. And this episode is funny, weird, and surprisingly charming. Cause Joe Pesci's macking on these 2 twins and living his best life, but then you suddenly remember it's Tales from the Crypt, so it all goes to shit. So you got Joe over here playing Vic, and he's a total scumbag, but Joe Pesci is so naturally charismatic at playing a scumbag that you almost forget, and you start to root for him. And this episode was directed by Joel Silver. And growing up in the 90s, I heard that name a million fucking times. He produced every movie I ever saw, but I have no clue what this guy even looks like. So here you go. And now I know why he stayed behind the camera. He kind of looks like Harvey Weinstein. Don't tell me Surviving Joe Silver is coming soon. And the same guy that wrote In All Through the House, which I covered previously, Fred Decker, he wrote this one. And All Through the House is one of my all-time favorites. It's definitely top 5 all time. Even Split Personality is top 5 of all time. Every single Tales from the Crypt episode that I've covered, and I think I've covered about 10 of them now, is top 5 of all time. So this episode starts out in a casino, little bit of foreshadowing here, wouldn't you say? And we're already bombarded with 2 cameos. You got Paulie from Rocky, whatever the hell his name is, Burt Young. He does not look like a Burt Young, let me tell you. He's Paulie to me, and he plays a degenerate gambler who's got a dying son in the hospital, but he thinks it's a great idea to just blow his life savings at the casino. What a fucking asshole. And then you got Ralph Cifaretto as the dealer, Joe Pantaleontalio, whatever the hell his name is. It's an Italian affair. Every one of these guys is a friend of ours. This episode's basically Sopranos mixed with Rocky and Goodfellas. You gotta love it. So Paulie's over here playing blackjack, and his dumbass didn't realize he's betting $50 chips. He thinks it's $5. The fuck is wrong with you? You should know what they are once you get them. It literally says them on the fucking chip. And he gets cold feet and wants to pull out, but the bet's on the table. You gotta let it ride now. Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. I just made that up. And just his luck, he gets 19. Now anyone in the fucking world would hold them at 19. You're a shoo-in. And he starts trying to get sympathy points from the dealer about his son having a kidney problem and he's in the hospital. Good luck. Blackjack dealers are not your therapists. They are the most heartless bastards on earth. Don't you know? But old Joe Pesci's ears perk up and he can smell the degenerate on this guy. So he steps to the table and convinces him to get hit one more time. It could be a 2, because he's over here counting cards like Rain Man. And Joe Pesci has a fascination with the number 2. He likes everything in 2s. He likes 2 chicks, 2 drinks. He likes having 2 balls. Hell, he even smokes 2 joints in the morning, smokes 2 joints at night, smokes 2 joints in the afternoon. Guess what? It makes him feel all right. Joe Pesci over here says, the best things in life come in 2s. Don't you know that a bird in the hand beats 2 in the bush? Now you're just greedy, and I have a feeling that greed is gonna bite him in the ass later. But sure enough, his greed ended up coming in handy cause he got dealt a 2. And now Paulie is ballin', counting about $300 in ones. So Paulie tries to give Joe Pesci his taste, but he's playing babyface and won't take the money. He'd rather do the long con. Keep your $20. So by earning Paulie's trust, he tells him he's got an in on this limited partnership investment, guaranteed to double their money. But he doesn't even tell him what this partnership is. But Paulie, being a complete rube, buys it hook, line, and sinker. but the only thing they need is 10 grand of seed money and they'll double it instantly. So Paulie writes him a check for 10 grand. And that's how Joe Pesci just got over on this guy with a dying kid in the hospital. What a cocksucker. So he's feeling himself, wearing a pink suit like he's Ace Rothstein over here, but he almost runs over 2 black cats. Now, if a black cat crosses your path, that's bad luck. But if there's 2 black cats, wouldn't one cancel the other one out? Because I never said if 2 black cats cross your path. But I digress. So to avoid hitting these black cats, he ends up blowing out his tire on the side of the road. And he sees 2 identical cars in the driveway, and he thinks, that's intriguing. Everything good comes in 2s. This must be the house of his dreams. Well, not the house itself. It looks like some cotton candy cult compound. And he even says, "What the fuck is this piece of shit?" I couldn't have said it better myself. And for the people that complain that I curse too much on these videos, I'm literally quoting the episode. So if you can't handle it, close your virgin ears. And what the fuck are you doing watching Tales from the Crypt anyways, if you don't like profanity? Get the fuck out of here. So Joe Pesci starts casing the joint and sees that this house belongs to some eccentric billionaire modern art architect. Damn, that's a mouthful. And he's basically trespassing on these people's property, acting like he owns the place already. So naturally the owner comes out waving a pistol, like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" But to his surprise, it's not an old man, it's a young chick. And to his good fortune, it turns out she has an identical twin, his lucky number 2. And they're hot. And now he's rubbing his hands like Birdman. And these 2 chicks are totally my type. Dark hair, pale, never leave the house, awkward and clingy. Exactly the type of chick I like. But I just need one. I'm not greedy like this guy. And their names are April and June. Maybe they were triplets and May didn't make it. And they're the heiresses of this architect guy, and it turns out he tragically died. And now they run this house. And Joe Pesci here sees a big score on his hands. He could run game on both of these chicks and take them for everything they got. And Joe Pesci can be real sweet when he wants to turn the charm on. He's a funny guy, but don't ever call him that. He's outgoing, he's friendly, he's buttering these chicks up and charming the pants off them. Literally. But his problem is, he doesn't want to choose one. He wants both. I mean, what's the fucking difference? I can't tell them apart, but I like June because that's my birthday month. I don't know which one is June, but I'll take her. And for that alone, June gets baddie of the week. And I kind of got a weird crush on her, I'm not gonna lie. But there you go, problem solved. And you think that'd be the end of the story, right? Wrong. Joe Pesci's greed has taken him over. He can't just settle with one. He's got to find a way to get both of these chicks. So he's hooking up with them every time the other one's in the other room, trying to turn them against each other even. And when that doesn't work, he's got to get clever. So what does he do? He decides he's got a twin brother now. But when he comes to visit, Joe Pesci 1 has mysteriously got to leave town. And now Joe Pesci 2 is here. Joe Pesci was over there, now he's over here now. He's where he was. And these 2 girls are worth $2 billion. That's right, with a B. Vic's lucky number. And he's got to get in on this action, so he's got to marry them. But he can't just marry one and call it a day. So he's got to marry both. One for him, one for his twin brother, unquote. But this is becoming too much work than he can handle. And like old Abe Lincoln says, no man has a good enough memory to be a successful liar. And eventually the chickens come home to roost. You can only do this act for so long till it blows up in your face. But he's not even thinking about the future. He's only concerned with right now. And that's his problem. And he's such a narcissist that he actually believes these 2 girls are dumb enough to buy his lies, and he can run game on them both. But when he's showing one attention, the other one gets neglected. And it's completely unfair. I mean, he probably should have just ran the polygamy game on him like that Big Love show. You know how they do it up in Utah? That would have been his best bet, rather than having to do all this extra shit. But as it turns out, these 2 girls aren't good at sharing. They want one of each. They have identical cars, identical rooms, wear identical clothes, even identical partners. The only time they ever had to share one person, well, they tragically ended up dead, as it turns out. And it was their dad. But Joe doesn't know this yet, so he's still running the same game on them. But he makes one fatal mistake. While he's outside suntanning, he accidentally leaves a piece of his robe on his back that blocks the sun out. And now he's got this horrible tan line that one of the girls notices while he's packing up to leave. And when his twin brother arrives, he has the same tan line. Who would have thought? And now these girls are pissed. They even find his fake-ass ponytail. I mean, he was taking this shit way too far. And while he goes looking for the girls, he magically finds the news clippings about their dead dad, and they were the ones that killed him. But by the time he figures this out, it's too late. He signed his death warrant. Hell hath no fury like a woman's scorn. Now multiply that by 2. Oh! Everything good comes in 2s, and so does everything bad. And Vic wakes up tied to the bed, and they come out looking incredible. Like they get a sexual kick out of this shit. And Vic finally comes clean and says, hey, I was in love with the both of you. What was I supposed to do? Well, you could have been honest and set your sights on one of them and married that one. But no, you had to be greedy. Everything good comes in 2s. Now look at you. And it turns out these 2 girls were so jealous over their dad that they had to kill him because they couldn't share him. And they've never loved another man to that extent until Vic came around. And now he's double fucked. So they take a chainsaw to his balls and cut him in half. And look, now there's 2 Vics. And there's your Larry David moment. So they'd rather just share a dead body decaying in their bed. To them, that's happiness. Sick bastards. Because there's nothing more romantic than half of a dead body bleeding out in your bed and not even cleaning it up. But what do I know? But there you go, it goes to show. Sometimes one is better than none. So be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. But I love this episode. This episode has 2 of my favorite things, gangster and horror. Because I built my whole first channel on gangster movies, and this marries the 2. If you like this shit, come over and watch more Tales from the Crypt with me. And it dawned on me, I caught a completely meta joke inside this episode. So the same guy who wrote in All Through the House wrote Split Personality. And the main character lady, when she kills her husband, she calls up a guy named Vic to tell him she did it. Was Joe Pesci the Vic monster this whole time? He's running game on everyone. And also the song that's played at the beginning and the end of the episode, Straighten Up and Fly Right, is like a commentary on Vic. He got too greedy, too sloppy. If he wasn't a Haza, a pig who didn't fly straight, he'd still be alive. But here he is, dead like a motherfucker. But tell me some of your favorite scenes, your favorite quotes. Tell me what this episode means to you. And tell me your favorite Tales from the Crypt episodes. And to the rest of you, I hope you have a good night. Be safe. I'm over here now. And God bless.